So Australia just kicked off its public consultation on its core skilled occupation list for 2025. So if you're somebody that you want to explore 482 employer-sponsored visa or 16, which is the permanent pathway through employer sponsorship, or you're exploring 491 visa, this video is for you. You know why the core skill occupation lists matter, especially now where they're trying to review the skills on the list. And it's the date for the consultation because it's already started. And some of the tech occupations, specifically because I train people in this area, that you need to actually pay attention to. But also there are other skills that may be removed or added. You want to know how to influence the list and then be able to craft out your next step, the strategy, so that you can be in Australia, or if you're already in Australia, you can position for these visas. So let's start with talking about why is this core skill occupation list even important. The core skill occupation list is literally the list of skills that are required for the Australian job market. So basically it's influenced by unions, employers, what the skill shortage in Australia is. So they want to get people to fill this position to be able to help the economy. Always want to review this list to freshen it up, especially now there's AI changing industry, changing the way that we work. So they've got to launch a public consultation as well to kind of get a feel from industry stakeholders, which can include employers. Even you as an applicant can submit a survey, right? And we're going to talk about why that is important. The result of your submission, they say, oh, we're going to put AI specialists on the list. Then if you've gone and learned AI, for example, you then be able to be sponsored by an employer here in Australia. But if you're an expert in AI or some AI crew and it's not on the list currently, they won't be able to bring you to Australia. And this is also true for other roles that may be relevant, but they are not currently on the list. That is why they launched this public consultation to find out what these skills are. So now let's look at the theory. So the core skill occupation list is a unified government list that includes occupation eligible for Australian skill migration visa, replacing older lists for greater flexibility and clarity. This is on the website. You can have a look as well. If you have appetite to explore this type of visa, you really need to get involved and know what's happening. They launched this consultation August. It's going to last to the 26th of September. They want to hear from employers, migrants, stakeholders to provide feedback on this occupation should be added to the list or removed from the list. Job and Skilled Australia is a review body that literally helps to run this on behalf of the government, and they would submit their report to the government based on what they find. So the public consultation is one part of that process. There's still other factors like what the job market is saying, what the union leaders are saying, what they're seeing in terms of the job start from Australian Bureau of Statistics and other factors they would consider. But this is also a very significant factor, and that's why I want you to pay attention to it. When it comes to tech, for example, there are some roles that are coming up and they are being considered for inclusion in the core skill occupation list, especially as we are now in the AI era and what we're seeing in the workforce trend. So roles like agentic retrieval augmented generalist, that's a RAG specialist, they want to add this type of roles which was not previously in there. They want to add it into the list, but they can't just add it unilaterally. They have to do this consultation. So there are many roles that are being considered, have been submitted by different people, and they want to see. So basically, once they do the consultation, it will feed into the other factors that we talked about earlier, and they will make a decision if these skills are indeed needed in the landscape, job market, the Australian economy landscape, and then they will be able to then submit that finding to the government to either approve or reject, right? Now, how can you get involved? So basically, as an immigrant, if you are skilled in a particular area and you feel like you can't see your role on the skilled occupation list, then this is an opportunity for you to kind of submit a survey. So they allow you to actually submit a survey. So it says any skilled migrant or employer can participate in the consultation by submitting a feedback. And this involves, first, you need to register with Jobs and Skills Australia, filling out a survey or comment form and providing evidence that this skill shortage or the workforce actually needs these skills. Just get data, right, on if a particular skill is needed and what you're doing as an employer if you're getting benefit from hiring through this sponsorship visa. Now, I've just talked about how you can get involved, register, and then submit your own entry. So next step for you, as you're thinking about your visa strategy, you need to think about it. So if you have a skill in this area, maybe you're learning AI, you're developing capabilities, you're building, you're iterating, but that skill is not on the list. It's an opportunity for you now to be involved in the consultation. Just go on Job and Skills Australia and look for the survey, fill it out, submit it. Your opinion matters and it can help shape if it's added. Then you can then get a pathway for even 491. So not necessarily only employer can sponsor you, but like 491 as well, which is an exciting opportunity. So I would encourage you to do that, basically to maximize your expression of interest and your point. So you can either get state nomination or you can also just get an employer to then sponsor you, especially if you are very good in that skill. So yeah, I hope this provided value and I'll see you next one.